baby's home. Cairo, Cairo is my baby's home. One bad Cairo night won't be long. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Catch you around and take you off your feet. Shoot you, knock you, teach you and cut you too. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. They get through the graveyard then for you. Cairo, Cairo, babe. Cairo, Cairo, babe. Women in Cairo send you down to your grave.
Hello and welcome. It's been a year since I started live streaming on 24th of January 2022. I went live for the first time ever. So, 1 year later, am I any smarter than then? What happened? What have I learned? What do I need to change as I was thinking about this kind of little anniversary? So yeah, we'll talk about that, but mostly we're gonna reboot your solos for 2023. So that's what we're gonna be doing today. So how's everybody doing? Hello, David. I'm Geir first, sorry. Norwegian attack as usual. So good to see you here. Hello, Geir. And David, I'm sorry I couldn't make it for your two live streams, but it's been a busy week last week and today as well in the middle of the meeting. David and I are following each other online, and I really enjoy listening to David's piano playing. Yeah, great. So what happened during this past year? Well, I've learned a lot about how I need to work when it comes to, you know, all this camera presence, tech stuff to make things just go and flow, and so that I can really relax and just talk about music, about playing, and that's the most important part of this. But there's so much behind. Not to brag about it, it's just that the industry has made it both extremely easy to be able to go online and share whatever you want to share your knowledge, your experience, your tips about things, but it's also a lot of things behind the curtains that need to be done. So yeah, that's what's happening today. And I'm sending this to Facebook as well. So if you guys are watching this from Facebook, it would be wiser to come to YouTube because it's much better audio and video quality on YouTube. That's something I can really assure you of. Good. Yeah, you can hear my guitar, but you can't see it. Not yet. Because in today's live stream, I'm going to be doing it just a little bit different. I'll give you this first backup to warm up as usual, but I'll keep it just short and one, couple of rounds of blues, slow blues in E, standard tuning, so you can get ready for that. But later on, after I've been talking about solos, now I'm going to be giving you lots of advice about how to do solos. These advices are very, very humble. So I'm not stating that I possess the knowledge and I'm going to show you how to do that. This is my way of doing it, and it's inspired by, let's say, Muddy Waters and Louisiana Red, Brownie McGee, very much indeed, by the playing of Brownie McGee, because the setup he used to play in, which was with a harmonica player and himself, they have very few recordings with bands or with other musicians. So basically he kind of built and created his whole playing style and playing some solos in between, from being forced to play both the backup and the basses and sing on top of it and accompany a great harmonica player. So it was very specific how he approached the making of a solo, which influenced me very, very much. So I'm almost kind of a blind copy of Brownie McGee when it comes to playing solos. Graham, my friend, great to see you here. Graham is from Wantage in the UK, a wonderful town where I used to, I think I taught there once, acoustic blues weekend through the European Blues Association. That was really fun. Great to see you here, Graham. All right, I hope you also have your guitar with you. And let's just move on right to that, to the first backup. So, basic stuff, slow blues in E. And I just realized I'll just move my microphones a little bit closer. So, great. So, the backup, standard blues in E. The guitar backups. I'm going to be showing you licks in standard tuning, solo ideas. In standard tuning, open D, open G. So this is a little reminder of that if you maybe have a spare guitar or if you want to retune. I think it's going to be going quite fast in between changes, but I'll definitely go in this order. I'll play some stuff in standard tuning to start with, then I'll go to open D and then the open G. Yeah, so if you can follow along, that's great. If not, just come back to this and watch the replay. It's going to be great. So, carbon copy. Yeah, there's this app, right, called Carbon Copy Disk Cloner or something to make backups from the computer to external drives or whatever. Great. Hello, Patrick, and welcome. Of course, you've got a Resophonic guitar. Yeah. Good. But, so, my first thought when it comes to telling you about solos is, first of all, why do we call it solo? Which means it's something that's kind of taken away from something bigger, which is a solo of a part that was including something else, the backup chord, singing and all that. So solo is something where you have one instrument or one voice, solo singer. I don't know. For me, the word is wrong from the beginning. Sorry. Don't get me wrong, all you electric guitar players and people who really like to shred and play single string runs and solos, and that's another story. I don't play that way. And the truth is, I cannot play it that way because I've never played electric guitar in that manner. So that's a harsh truth. But I'm going to be showing you some stuff that I'm usually doing when I'm playing things in between vocal lines, either when I'm accompanying somebody who I'm playing with, or when I just want to play an instrumental part of a song, in the middle of a song. So today's theme is these solos. So let's take a song, Custard Pie Blues by Brown and McGee Sonatary. And the song goes, I won't tell something, baby, I will tell no lie. I want some of your custard pie. You gotta give me some of it. You gotta give me some of it. You gotta give me some of it before I give it all away. So that's the groove of the song. It goes in this kind of moderate, fast, finger-picking manner. And whoever sees or hears the similarity with country music, with country songs, with rockabilly, with Folsom Prison Blues with Johnny Cash, well, basically that's it. That's what my right hand is doing. It's bass, chord, pattern. And then in between, I'm playing these single notes. In this case, second and the first string, and then third and the second, or the third and the first. The other pattern would be if I would play the basses like sixth string, fourth, or the whole chord, and then the fifth string, and then the chord again, which will give us faster. this is something I really claim that anybody and everybody who has basic guitar playing skills, who can find in between strings with a picking hand and a sense of rhythm, can practice and really master within a week or two for each of these major chords, so to say. The E chord, and this pattern goes for all chords that have the main bass note on the sixth string. So any of the bare chords, F, G, A, right? Now, don't blame Carl Perkins and Johnny Cash for, as soon as you hear this, you think it's Folsom Prison Blues. This has been around for many, many years before that. But what I'm trying to explain here is what's the grounds of any soloing that I play in these kinds of rhythms, because this kind of playing with a picking hand is applied to this kind of acoustic blues, to whatever ragtime you might be playing, like Blind Boy Fuller. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, babe. Don't you go and run me wild. Gotta stop doing what you do to me, babe. I mean just what I say. Talk about love and so does he. Every aspect of this rhythm is based on this kind of bass playing with your picking hand. So as soon as you master that, the possibilities are really endless, because when I play something which is here on the first frets, I want to tell you something, baby, I will tell you no lie. Some kind of melody can be played already here, and I can maintain the basses going. But if I want to play the melody of the song, I want to tell you something, baby, I will tell you no lie. That melody is up here. And with this pattern up here, I cannot grab the chord and play it like this. So the easiest way and the most common way to maintain the rhythm is if you just keep on doing the basses as a quarter notes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come to the full sounding chord shape and a melody up here, and then now when I need to play the B chord, I want to tell you something, baby, before I give it all away. So this I would maybe just grab the bare chord on the 7th fret, the B chord up here, and then the melody could be somewhere on the first string, like a, or at the same time with the chord, it could be, or any variation of that. In this case, I'm playing acoustic blues, but this is very similar to, let's say, Kansas City blues. It's only that the Kansas City blues goes slowly. Walking down Main Street, going down Bill, looking for the woman, and the melody. So it's very similar to how I would play acoustic blues. It's just slow there. Many of the blues licks, when it comes to solos in shuffles, are exactly the same as you would play them in the slow blues. Let's say this. Just speed this up into a shuffle. It's going to be right, and then we go. difference would be that in the slow blues you play, so you manage to play the triplets like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. If I play in the fast shuffle, then I will play alternatively on the first and the second string, like. If I would play this with a backup guitar player, and if I'd be able to kind of let the basses go and not play them, then you can really play this really fast, like. So it's a matter of how you want to play it, right? And then there are definitely some melodic things you can do within this lick to kind of make it a little bit more exciting. Maybe so it's, and this chord can be really played mean, like a. And then you got this seventh, and you've got kind of a little bit more grunchy touch to it. I don't know, because let's say introduction to heavy blues in the style of early Muddy Waters with his electric band, like a. Said you love me, baby. Please call me on the phone sometime, and so on. This is either mean disposition or long distance call blues. So that would be in, let's say, shuffly blues, those most commonly played licks. If you listen to, let's say, Eric Clapton's Before You Accuse Me, which is actually a Bo Diddley song, the main lick of Eric Clapton's solo on his CD Unplugged from 1992 is this. Right, and it's actually the same thing that you can play an octave lower, but here. So this is also a dynamic thing. If you, let's say, have another guitar player or harmonica player or piano player, David, one fine day we'll be jamming over this. You can just kind of put your frequencies on the other side of the spectrum compared to their playing, because if both, let's say, musicians play in the same frequency range and do that for a longer period of time, it's not exciting. When I used to play with Sam Mitchell live, sometimes we really pumped with both of us playing exactly the same pattern on the basses, and that was also almost like, you know, hammering down the rhythm and everything. But then within 20 seconds we just split, and he would go into solo, I would continue with the basses and all that. So an example would be sorry, I got this, not Before You Accuse Me, but Anyway You Want Me. You got me running, you got me hiding, you got me running, hiding any way you want me, oh baby. Right? So this could be played exactly the same way by Sammy and me during the verse. And then in the next verse, the other one of us would go to either play, just to go to this shape, or maybe just go all the way up. And then if you hear somebody playing a pattern that you also can play, then don't just double it, because I've seen that and I've heard that and I've lived through that on many jam sessions. It's like you play with some maybe band that you've just met on the gigs. Either you're an opening act for them or they're opening for you, different circumstances and all that. And sometimes you end up jamming and then you play a solo and all of a sudden somebody's replying with exactly the same thing, almost like, oh, hey, I can do that too. which is great. I mean, it's cool, it's sweet, but it's always better, I think, more musical if you find your own stuff. If you're going to play the very similar phrase as the other guy is playing, then at least do it an octave lower, or play some harmony to that, a third in the melody of that solo, or whatever. Could be something cool. What I like to do actually is that if somebody will play, then maybe I will go the opposite way. And you kind of meet on a little bit dissonant note somewhere, and then you just keep on pumping it. That's great, yeah. So anyway, this would be a kind of a tip for a solo in standard tuning. If you play in E, if it's a slow blues, if it's a shuffly blues. Let me show the example of how Louisiana Red played. It's not going to be note for note, but basically this is how he played solo in the Gasline Blues. Actually, this was his kind of a showstopper lick, where he really would go down, 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 and play this very softly. It would go like this. And he would pump it like this. Right. And this was just, you know, a great lick in the middle of kind of, I got the gas line blues, got a can with a lose, everybody got the gas line blues. And then from here he would either go to some lick in A. That could be, or, and this is also a lick that I learned from Brownie McGee, but I'm not sure he was the first one, but I've heard this when you play this chord of A, but as a ninth. That's also a kind of soloing pattern that I use quite often. I lost my guitar neck up there. I didn't want to hide this lick. I'll show you. So it's like this. And then turn around, right? So this is also something that I use to finish off the soloing phrase and then go back to singing maybe. I would maybe start a solo with, right, and then I switch to A. And then now people you in, and so on. So I'll show you this slowly. It's a, that's the first part. So we go to the E, A chord, shape on the 5th fret here. And from here I jump to the 9th fret and play the note on the 9th fret on the 2nd string as well. And from here I play open first, open second, and during that time, I'm a cheater, I jump down to the chord of E and just meet the chord and the whole rhythm again with, this is the sus in the E chord. So the whole lick one more time. Oh, sorry. So in the B chord, it's either, and if you have a musical ear, and I'm sure you have, all of you listening here, I'm not playing the B bass here. This would be kind of too clean in my ears. Maybe not bluesy enough. Maybe I'm too nerdy about that. I don't know. But I just love playing the A note, but playing the B chord. So. It's just beautiful for me. I just love doing that. I can also just play the big bass. So it's all up to you and deciding how you want to play that back up. And I really enjoy doing it differently. Maybe I'll play 3 shuffle songs during the course of an evening, and in one of them I might play one sort of basses, and the other one I might maybe just go to kind of more lively bass runs and all that, which will also be something that if I play a shuffle, fast shuffle with a lively bass runs, then I will definitely kind of calm down a little bit with the solo, because solo is going to be, it needs to sound a little bit different, right? Especially if you play with somebody else, then you will have to adapt to what they're playing. If it's one person, it's basically quite easy. I'm very much used to play with harmonica players, and I do enjoy playing with harmonica players, especially if they're good, because they are usually very musical, and they know when to back off and how to back off. Because to back off while somebody else is playing solo is not that you play quieter or that you need to play less. If you listen to Brownie McGee and Sonny Terry, Sonny Terry was playing some very complex runs on the harmonica in the middle of Brownie McGee's solo, and vice versa. Brownie could play some advanced stuff while Sonny was playing, but they would back off volume-wise. So they would just kind of back off a little bit from the microphone if it's totally acoustic, or if you have a good sound engineer, maybe they would do that. But I don't really like when a sound engineer is interfering with the dynamics of the music on stage. No, it's a big no-no for me. I don't know. All right, so let me go to my notes so that I just don't bumble here. And Tech Troublemaker, great to see you here. Thank you for chiming in. So, if you compare the greatest artists within blues, people who I used to listen to a lot, that's early Lonnie Johnson, Blind Lemon Jefferson, that's Blind Willie McTell, that's early B.B. King. I really adore early B.B. King records. I love Dr. Clayton, who was also one of the guys who inspired B.B. King very much. So if you don't know who was, previously, prior to when B.B. King became big in the 50s, late 40s and 50s, then Dr. Clayton is one of those guys. He was fantastic. But I think he had some issues with drinking and stuff, so he kind of disappeared from the scene, and B.B. King just went on. So Doc Watson, I was listening to Doc Watson a lot, and most of those people were heavily basing their solos on the melodies of a song, and that's it. So I've shown you the Kansas City Blues melody, Custard Pie Blues melody, then what's the next one? Yeah, my way of playing solo is usually that I incorporate the basses and the chords. I throw them in no matter. Right. So where does the inspiration come? Inspiration can come from the melody of the song. And there's one more example. Let's take Key to the Highway. If we play that in E as well. And I mean, guys, this is for intermediate to advanced players, but not for pros, so to say. I have this, experience of people who are on a, professional level, who play, let's say, if you compare Tommy Emmanuel when he plays blues, that's a lot flashier playing than many other people can do. But that's another energy on the stage. That's another way of playing. It's another style. And he's one of those guys who can really burst out into a single string runs, which are extremely musical, fantastic. And then he just kind of goes back to the rhythm and plays. Just listen to him playing Deep River Blues in standard tuning in E. It's just amazing, right? But we muggles are concentrating on where the basics are, and I still enjoy playing very simple runs, but with a statement. And that's what I think anybody on any stage of their musical journey can do. You can play simple stuff, but there should be a reason why I'm playing this note at this particular place and not somewhere else. So if I show you, I've got a key to the highway. So the melody is, I've got a key to the highway, built out and about to go. I'm gonna leave this place running, car walking most too slow. And get me warm. So it's a lot of the melody that is around do 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 do. All those notes can be found on the first string. So I got a key to the highway, built out and about to go. I'm gonna leave this place running, car walking most too slow, or most too slow. So that's the basic melody. So where is this melody? If we would maintain the basses, and then turn around. That would be just a wonderful way to play a kind of intermission between two verses and then just go on with the next verse. Or you can also make it a bit more punchier when you play this like a, so what I did here is that I made that lick and I just went to the chord that's coming next, which is the B7. And up here, I could play as well, which is a ninth. You're not really seeing this well. It's the pink is on the 9th fret on the first string. 9-7, 9-7. Right. And then I play the same lick from the shuffly blues. Any combination of A chord, and then I was back in E, and then I need the B again, but and this is a form of a B chord as A7, right? But then you move it 2 frets higher, and you got this B7, which is also beautiful with this A bass. And so on. So that would be for kind of shuffly blues, slow blues in standard tuning. And maybe there's this third pattern or groove when it comes to slow blues or standard tuning, which is this. heel sneakers. This song can be applied to many other songs. I sometimes play Can't Be Satisfied Blues by Muddy Waters in this pattern, especially if I jam with the band somewhere, because that's great. Right. Okay, let's just jump into the chat just a little bit. Hello, Blind Guy's Wife, they're alive. Great to see you here, buddy. I'm here to enjoy as an inexpensive person. Maybe you meant inexperienced. Okay, well, hey, come on. Everybody can learn a couple of chords. A positive voice is always nice to listen to, nonetheless. Yes, right. Okay, so Tommy Tucker, high heel sneakers. How would I approach the solo here? Very simply, because this rhythm needs to be driven, and if you kind of let this you just go there, I don't know. I usually play a kind of instrumental break within this song by kind of grabbing different chord shapes and playing some kind of dynamic stuff, which is syncopating around the rhythm. And I'm sure David, who plays piano, knows about this a lot, because that's, you know, when your left hand is just pumping the basses and the kind of boogie woogie shuffly thing, and then the right hand is doing the syncopation, the triplets, and all kinds of nice jewelry that you can do there. So in this particular case, I would just play the whole 2 verses, let's say, pattern with just the backup, and I would even play only basses in the first verse, like I put on your red dress, baby, 'cause we're going out and right. But syncopation in this rhythm is happening also with my fretting hand. So what I'm doing here is that I'm doing this stuff all the time, right? At the same time, I'm doing. That's why I hear the right. But then in the second verse, I would incorporate the treble strings, like away a boxing glove, in case some fool might wanna fight. Put on your high heel sneaker and the wig hat on your head. Right. So that's already kind of adding to the whole thing. But I'm staying on the first string on this open string note, which is E. So I'm staying down here. The first time when I do the instrumental break, I would just go to the 4th fret, which immediately kind of raises the pitch of whatever was being played, and it kind of jumps out, and that's enough for a good solo for me. I mean, I just want to develop the whatever lick I'm playing down there. So. It can be that simple. This is very complicated for somebody who's not a beginner, who is a beginner, sorry, of course. But if you have the grooves, especially when it comes to chords and good dynamic syncopating and good dampening with your both hands, then this is a quite easy thing to achieve when it comes to the grooves, right? So the next stage will be see and hear, I'm pinching and plucking the strings with my right picking hand a lot in between all these notes, which is like emphasizing the groove, the syncopation and everything. So not everything is happening on the fretting hand and playing those notes that are kind of pressed with your and so on. So I'm kind of combining those two things. But now it's time to move to the next tuning. We're going to D open. And time is flying. Alright, so let's see. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want. So I would just kind of play and emulate the melody with my playing hand, right? With the fretting hand. And I'm leaving the treble strings and my slide maybe to incorporate that a little bit later on in the song. So when I'm playing Jesus on the main line, I would stay on the basses and the main chord shapes very long in the song. And then later on, I would make Jesus on the main line. Here, I'm just playing the main chord. Jesus on the main line, tell him what you want, which would basically be a little improvisation over the melody. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Maybe in the next round, I would maybe go to the octave. Like oh, this is nice. I've learned this from Sam Mitchell. So it's slide on the 7th fret, and then fretted notes on the 5th fret, and then slide again on the 7th fret, and then again 5th. But this can also be played with a slide. So it's like a lick goes like this. And here I'm playing the 2nd and the 3rd string when it comes to melody, and then the 3rd and the 4th, and then I just release the slide very fast and just play the 2nd string open together with the bass or the 4th string. All this can be played with a slide as well. But sometimes it's nice with this kind of extra ringing, like a and this is also something when it comes a variation on a melody, and I come to this note on the 7th fret, which is beautiful. So basically, if you play an open D, and if you play in the basic chord of a D, all notes that are, let's say, on the 12th fret, on the 9th, 7th, 5th, I just play the scale, right? I should jump over to the second note. Right. But basically, all the notes within a D scale in open D sound great because it's an open tuning, because you have 3 D notes. You have this, and then whatever you play on the first string is ringing together with those kind of droned notes. As a solo in maybe Jesus on the main line. When it comes to more bluesy stuff, like shuffly stuff, when we play Dust My Broom, this is one of the questions I get quite often on workshops, like, hey man, I'm playing this Dust My Broom and I'd like to have some more licks. Okay, if you listen to Elmore James, who kind of made the song popular, who invented the lick, right? Which is in different variations, something like this. Or right there somewhere. If you play a little bit sloppy with lots of vibrato on the 12th fret, you can really make it sound grungy. Then you change. From here, from this second, the 4th chord in the blues turnaround, Elmo James didn't play licks. He just played a chord, and they just went back to the main phrase. That's how he played the song. And then he played. And the turnaround. That can be a solo. So sometimes I really wonder, I mean, what else do you want to play? That's the song. That's great. But then I realized that, of course, if you play with somebody, you want to jam, and not both of you can play the same thing, the same lick and all that. Somebody needs to play some melody. So let's say. This is a lick I learned from somebody, and I don't know who it was. And then it's a great lick. I forgot who I learned it from. I made some variations of that, but I didn't invent this myself. So it comes from. So it's played on the 7th fret, on the 3rd, 2nd string, and then the 1st string on the 5th fret. That's the beginning. And then we go 4th fret on the 1st string, 2nd fret on the 1st string, or right? And then the same shape, just 2 frets lower. So, and then the 1st fret on the 3rd string, and then a turn around. All together. And just go on with the shuffle. Oh, I seen a question here by David. It's so great when you guys put the Q and colon, because that's where I know this is a question. Thank you. And thank you for liking the video. I've seen 15 likes. So how do you play minor chords with slide? Or is that not a thing? Well, it is. I sometimes cheat because I really don't have any of the songs that are in minor chord. it's usually when I jam with somebody and they play maybe standard tuning E minor, then I would just place the capo on the second fret, and then I'm in E as well. But then all I do is I just avoid the third of that chord. So if we're in D here, right, that's the third here, then I would just play this. I'd make it a fifth and go there. And then when it comes to the fourth chord, I can avoid to play the third, and of course the melody. Right? So I'm avoiding that. And there's also a way, if you have, especially on the guitar, on the slide guitar, if you have the string action quite high, then you can play the fifth fret with a slide, but then you fret behind the slide on the third string here, and you fret it on the fourth fret, and then you would get this. My action is pretty low because I really like to both fret and play slide, so I usually don't do this, but this would be the way to play minor chords in open tuning. Most of the times I would just play the melody, which is more minor-y than major-y, and that's it. Patrick's got a take on that. It's a pain. I fret the minor note behind the slide. That's it. Sorry, I didn't say this. So you already knew that. That's great. Yeah. And sometimes you could just kind of run through that chord if you want to play the A minor like this. Sorry. I mean, not all the chords need to be played with slide, right? So I would kind of combine those two. So that would be in the case of, let's say, shuffly or slow blues in open D, or some gospel-y stuff, which in gospel it's quite common that you follow the melody. Although I'm so impressed how David plays gospel when he's improvising around it. I mean, the way you play Down by the Riverside is just, it's killing you, man. It's amazing. I could analyze that, but that's not something I could do in open tuning, because as soon as you play a melody up higher the neck, then it's a lot of different grips you need to do with your left hand if the basses are not just open notes, strings, right? So let's say if I play Glory, Glory, Hallelujah when I lay my burden down, then I would play. Solo, if I would do it with a slide, there would be. Heavily based on the melody of the song, right? So that would be about the gospel. If we think more popular music, let's say Robbins, 1958, I think that's the year of the song. I'm a hog for you, baby. I'm a hog for you, baby, and I can't get enough of your love. I'm a hog for you, baby, and I can't get enough of your love. Lord, I wanna see you now, baby, all the things I'm dreaming of. You just follow the melody. I'm a hawk for you, baby, can't get enough of your love. Hawk for you, baby. So it's a combination of slided notes and the chord grips and melody grips, and it's really good when you play open tunings to learn the scale in harmonies, like in thirds, like this. So what you do here is you play only the 6th string, 3rd, and the 1st, and then there are just 2 patterns. One is like this on the 2nd and the 4th fret. It's kind of 1 fret behind the whatever you're playing on the 1st string, and then on the 5th, 7th, and the 12th fret you play the same fret on both strings. So this first pattern comes again for me. If you want to incorporate the basses here, then it's beautiful to play like this. And then you let the first strings kind of drone from the low. So just combining these 2 ways of playing these thirds is also something that's beautiful. I usually kind of go to the 4th chord by playing glory, glory, hallelujah, when I lay my burden down. That's how I would combine it. So, oh man, the time flies. I'm already past the hour, but I want to show you something in open G, just briefly. So let me grab that. Let's see if that kept the tuning. Just so let's say the examples I want to play here would be Can't Be Satisfied Blues, let's say, and I think I'll just use my thumb pick because I'm used to play that lick with a thumb pick. So Can't Be Satisfied Blues, if you would play it like Muddy, I'll never be able to play the same way he did, but let's so when I'm gonna leave, won't be back no more, going back down south, don't you wanna go, woman, I'm trouble, I've been all worried mine, and so on. So the whole song is just following the melody. There is no solo. He's just playing the same thing all over again, either instrumentally or playing unison with the singing, right? But later on, there were versions. Muddy played it live a couple of times, and then a song was recorded on the album called Hard Again in 1972, I think, when Johnny Winter was the producer of that song, and that was a kind of a revival for Muddy Waters because he had this kind of limbo in the late 60s, beginning of 70s, where he wasn't touring so much and his records were not selling so well. So when Johnny Winter came into the game and just produced this a record that was really punchy, recorded live in studio, it was just the production of that was so rocky, still blues, an amazing record, just fantastic. And on that record, Muddy didn't play slide. So the Can't Be Satisfied was recorded with Johnny Winter playing the slide on the triphone guitar. So what he did is, so he played that, and then in the middle of the whole thing, he just threw in a fantastic lick that went, I'm in trouble, I've been all worried. This is Johnny Winter. This is just fantastic, and this is a lick. And this was something that he threw in between either vocal lines or when they play the instrumental part. I don't remember. But this is really a lick. So this has got nothing to do with the melody of the song. It's this. All right. So it's played on the third string. You glide from the third to the fourth fret. And after that, you just play the first string open twice. And then you have fifth, open, third, and then, which is the octave lower, then. It's an amazing lick. I just love it. I just thought Johnny Winter did a fantastic job there. So that's in between there. And over the years that I've played Can't Be Satisfied Blues, I kind of threw in a couple of more notes. So maybe if I would just show you how I would play the instrumental part there. Then we would like to... I think this was a little bit oversaturated when it comes to volume. I'm sorry, because I played harsher and this guitar is just punching, so I guess I was too close to the microphone, so sorry about that. But basically that's how I would approach a song if I would play a little bit more than just a simple melody of Can't Be Satisfied. And as I said before, quite often when I play with a band and when I'm invited to jam with somebody, then I just don't want to end up playing predictable shuffles, basically stuff that electric guitar players do and all that. I like to shake it up a little bit, especially those occasions when the evening is quite electric heavy. It's like a electric band after electric band, and no acoustic cats and anybody. But then I know somebody in the band and say, "Hey man, come on, jam with us, play a song or two." Okay, then I show up with my acoustic guitar and I have my pickup and I sound really. I mean, I have a great sound. It's okay, but I'm still playing acoustically, and I'm still going to be playing my basses and chords and everything. But then, if I would just go into what I'm gonna do, then the bass player would maybe hear it's just going to be, oh, it's this kind of 2/4s, and then it will be like almost like a concert, which is not the way this song should be played. So I usually kind of move it into the pattern of high heel sneakers, right? So what I'm gonna do, won't be back no more, go back down south, don't you wanna go, I'm trouble, I'll be all worried mind. And then the band plays something that's familiar. They know their grooves within this tempo, and I can just play all my licks that I usually play and Can't Be Satisfied in that kind of new groove, which is great for me as well, I think. So yeah, yeah, I fulfilled my list in my notes. So I played you all the stuff that I wanted, and that was my humble attempt to give you some reboot of the solos in 2023, and I hope it helped and gave you some ideas. London sessions, no, not really. That's something else, I think. This was just hard again, a regular LP recorded in 1972, I think. Try to find it online. Oh, Graham commented this on the, yeah, exactly, which would give you the open D minor tuning. So for those who are not familiar with it, the third string in the open D is F sharp. So if we just lower that one half step, then we're going to just get that minor chord from the start. But then if we want to play the major chord as a fifth, then we need to grab that with an extra kind of different grip on the left side. So whatever. Thank you, Patrick. It's great to hear. Thank you, Gare. Well, for me, it felt like 15 minutes. The time just flies. I don't know. It's just amazing. Before the live stream, I always think, oh God, am I going to be able to fill this hour? I'm going to be talking for an hour and playing and all that. And all of a sudden, like, whoa, it was like 5 minutes to 10. I was like, oh, whoa, my local time, 5 to 10. But anyway, oh, here's an old buddy of mine, Mats. Hi, great to see you. All right. I guess he says he would love to jam, but the whole family is home, so he cannot make noises right now. Okay, we'll do it some other time. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming. It's been a blast, and I really enjoyed it. I think these kinds of live streams, these kinds of shows where I can really show you lots of stuff within a compressed hour, it's given a lot, and I hope you'll be enjoying. Listen to this even afterwards. Get back to this and just watch the replays. I think I'll do the chapter markers for each tuning. So the standard tuning licks, solo licks are going to be one chapter and then open D and then open G. So that way you can find it easily. Great. Thanks so much for coming, and I will see you next week. Take care.
It was in spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Things could call me up, down and out by soul. Said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need your soul. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Don't like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. In spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me. Now she went away. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top